Hey, what's going on? CoinOpTV subscribers, welcome to another CoinOpTV live and interactive on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoinOpTV. Today we're going to be doing a review of a video game that came out yesterday called McMorris Infinite Air. This game came out on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Windows PC, and one of our CoinOpTV contributors, MrDadGamer, has actually been working on the review and some gameplay, and we're going to do a video review, live streaming of that. So let me introduce MrDadGamer. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. This is actually my third live stream. Did one earlier talking about Skylanders Academy, the cartoon, and then one before that talking about the scariest movies of all time. So now we're actually, you and I are, ending the night with some video game chatter. I'm very excited.
A little bit of everything today, huh?
Yes, it's a cavalcade of a goodness. It's just the end of the year, things get really busy and stuff like that. We are live streaming, so if you guys are watching in the chat, just ask us questions. We'll give you a shout out. If you guys watch this on the archive, we'll check out the questions and comments there. And MrDadGamer will also be doing a full review on the website soon enough. This is sort of a review in progress, kind of some bullet points. So this
is by HB Studios, the same one that did the golf club. And one thing that I wish they had on that was licensed golf clubs. That was a great game, and a lot of the same creation tools, I should say, that they used in that game have translated over into Infinite Air. But they did add the additional licensing. There's several boarders from Mark Morris, Craig McMorris, Danny Davis, and there's 3 or 4 others, I believe, including a couple female characters that can be unlocked as you progress through the different tiers. One thing I found personally, just the way I hold the controller, I guess, is that if you hit on the PlayStation 4, you hit the square button, it resets you back to the top. And I found a couple times when I was trying to be in the middle of trying to do a move, that I ended up actually hitting that button instead, and so it reset me back to the top of the hill. Now, the other thing with that though is you had mentioned the chopper. You do have the option to move yourself up or down the slope. That primarily comes into play when we're doing the world creation, and where you can create your slopes. It'll procedurally generate a mountain for you, and you can add the number of trees, the inclines, things like that. And then you can place yourself anywhere along there and then drop in and see how that trail runs for you at that point. With the circuit, which is basically your single player, you've got the same types as you would in the multiplayer. You've got your Slopestyle, your big air, your ramps, half pipe, and then you've got half pipe, you've got backcountry, and then you have the race. Just obviously a straight race going down the mountain there. And so that carries over both on the single player, and then you've got with the multiplayer, you can actually create competitions. So you can get a couple of your friends. A couple different modes with the multiplayer. You've got the create competition, join competition, then you can get live rides. So you can hook up with a couple of your friends and tell them you just created this great new mountain. You want them to try that with you, so you can hook up and all 3 of you go down there and see who can get the most tricks off of it. There's leveling up in the sense that it's like a lot of other games where you unlock various features or additions to the game and your specific person. So I mean, you initially start out with Mark Morris and just basic coloring, basic color like a black ski helmet, suit, pants, all that. But as you progress, you unlock various options. You actually they have a lot of, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of licensed equipment. So you can get a Red Bull board or Oakley glasses. But there's not so much you leveling up like an MMO or something like that, where you're level 5, level 6. You just unlock more options and progress with a little bit better border as you move on. To me, the biggest thing I enjoy about it is the customization. Like, what if you look over at a completely different genre to an extent other than sports, like the PGA Tour, EA Sports, you have fixed courses that are released, your DLC and so on. And that's what you're stuck with. The way HP Studios approached the golf club was, here's some courses we created. They're not necessarily real courses. but here they are, and here are the creation tools to create your own course. So while people may not have generated the exact names, you have people that created Augusta, you had people that created other real courses. They took that same technology and made it to where you can create your mountains and create your slopes. So I can totally see people down the road here creating Whistler, famous places in Colorado, Aspen. And then what you can do is you can actually set runs up on there. And so then you can get your friends together and say, hey, here's, I just created this one. Let's go ahead and check it out. Like I mentioned earlier, you can just grab your friends and look up online and let's go try a new mountain that you generated. So the freedom and the creativity that is there that it offers you versus here's 5 mountains you get to go down and you get 3 runs off of each mountain. That's it. So I really love that aspect. One thing that'll be interesting to see is with, as I mentioned, the golf club. There was actually a group of people that made the golf club tour. They have a website, tournaments, everything. So you sign up for it, you register, and so on. And it'll be interesting to see if a group of people does that same thing and creates a formal set of competitions, like recreate some of the Xbox game or Xbox X Games, things like that.
So what about, I know you're still working on the review, is there any major disappointments, anything that's really jarring when you're playing Infinite Air?
Not jarring, I wouldn't say. Again, it's a game that just came out, so of course there's going to be issues here and there. I haven't run across anything major. Couple things I did notice is sometimes when I'm going down the mountain, if I crash, which as you see I did fairly frequently, when I come back into it, sometimes it seems like how I mentioned the snow indented. It didn't actually seem like it indented right away. There's kind of a glitch or hiccup or something like that, and it didn't look right. Also, a couple times, if I actually did one earlier today when I was playing, I accidentally ran into some rocks, and when you hit X to get back up and continue on, well, it put me right back on those rocks again. And every time I incrementally went over about 6 inches. So after restarting it about 8 times, it restarted me on the snow so I can continue. So little things like that, but nothing like, I can't play this game because of this bug in it right now.
All right. Yes, that's good. Good to hear. So, okay. Well, anything else we're missing from Mark Morris's Infinite Air that you want to touch on before we wrap things up?
No, I was just want to go over a little bit more about that sharing. I mean, I mentioned the different courses that you can do. You could also filter it, which I thought was kind of interesting. Though, is that I keep referencing the golf club, but it's the same studio that did it, and like I say, a lot of the same features are implemented here that they did in their golf game. But in the golf game, they had filters for a new course, a real course, fantasy course, things like that you can do. The filters here for the types of styles you wanted to see when you would browse the runs, because you had an option. They had aside from you creating your own and your friends creating and sharing them, people would create them and then you could actually search them. And I thought it was kind of odd because the search functionality actually was under the settings section for the filters rather than the actual sharing area where you would actually search for the different. So that kind of seemed puzzling. Instead of why not have the filters in the same screen where you're actually doing the searching. But they have daily challenges. You can look at the ones that are the hot slopes of the day or the week or the month. And then you can also have your favorites. So if you just enjoy going down some slope and getting a maximum amount of tricks you can off of it, you can just save that as a favorite and come back to it whenever you want. Alrighty,
cool. Well, let's see. In chat there, Amazing Corporation said price. I believe this is full price game. I have to double check. Is this $60?
It was $49.99, I believe, was the price on that.
So almost $50 there retail. So cool. Well, hope you guys enjoyed checking things out with Mark Morris's Infinite Air, and it was great. Checking things out with MrDadGamer. We got his Twitter on the screen there. If you want to check him out, we'll have his article up soon on the website. Thanks a bunch again, and thanks a bunch to all you guys and girls watching at home.
Thanks, guys.
If you guys watching this on the archive, leave a question, comment, and we'll try and answer them there. For CoinOpTV, we'll see you next time.
Have a great night, everyone.